Good morning. Welcome to Playable Worlds. My name's Carneros, and I'm joined here by Lyric Dax,
Good morning, everyone.
Rod Haza,
Good morning, everyone.
and you can't see him on screen, and he's not feeling great today, but we have Fromy with us also running the boards as usual.
Hello.
Oh, that didn't sound good. Okay, hang in there, hang in there. Maybe another cup of tea, sir. But welcome again, Playable Worlds. We're going to talk about Stars Reach today. And we've got some things going on in the game right now. A couple things are different because my theory is because the game play times are longer. They're able to do more complicated, longer duration activities inside the game.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah. If you've logged into space at all recently, you couldn't help but notice an absolutely massive Gaia class star cruiser that the players all built with leadership by Gunk. But I understand it's not all Gunk members that did it. The Gunk Guild provided leadership, but anybody who showed up helped. Is that right?
Yeah, it's huge. I think it's the main ship is 64 homesteads. So
Yeah.
just massive.
Just imagine that for today, you decided to log into a game and organize 64 people to put their homesteads next to each other in a straight line, let alone explain to them. I mean, that's just something right there to start with. And then now I've heard that even while they're still tweaking parts of the design inside and, doing stuff, there's now a contest outside the ship surrounding it to build a little flotilla of ships around it.
There
And
is.
I
It's such
see
a cool
Gunk speaking up.
contest.
Yeah. Yep,
It's
lots of people helping, not just Gunk. Waboba is leading the
let's
building
see.
efforts. No big surprise.
Let's see. Last Stitch is the one sponsoring it with a prize of 50,000 Cladis. And to be considered, you're supposed to build a spaceship in and around the starship in the space zone. And I think we're judging them today. So if you want to build one at the last minute, now's the time.
50,000 Klatus?
That's amazing.
I pronounce that. Rod, how do you pronounce it? Klatu?
I pronounce it differently every time I say it.
All right, that's good. That's all good. All good. But no one has 50,000, do they?
They must have been pooling it somehow.
Oh, okay.
They've had time to put together some missions and pool it together, so hopefully they have the money ready to go.
It's amazing.
All right. Wow.
That's a lot.
I'm shocked at that number, let me just say. And I'd probably be shocked if I knew how many people are participating and how many blocks of material they're using and all that. 50K is definitely ready. Holy cow, Last Ditch. Holy cow.
Wow, that's amazing.
All right. The mind boggles, literally. Okay. So, this is exciting. This is exciting. Now when some VIP shows up or the investors show up and say, hey, can I see the game? And my boss, Eric, gives someone a tour or Raf gives someone a tour. They have to go by and show them that because it's just too impressive. Well done, guys. Thank you. You're making us look good. And it's appreciated. Yeah, too many
It's just
blocks
an
of
incredible build. I mean, they've done a great job. Just rooms, engine rooms, all sorts of stuff.
I mean, not only the visual for it that makes it great, it's great for us because it's testing out our servers. It's giving us an opportunity to see where there are potential issues that we need to actually optimize and change.
Excellent. What have we learned so far from the Starship build? What areas has it touched us to go take another look at our code base or our design? Rod, can you tell us any of them?
Well, several of them we had a pretty good idea on in the first place. One of which, of course, is our objects right now are a little heavy. So as you put a lot of objects onto the screen, you definitely see um, return of FPS loss and things like that as you look toward those things. It's pretty obvious when you sit there in the starbase and you look toward that ship, as opposed to looking away from it. You're going to see a very
Mhm.
different FPS, and that helped identify that a lot. It's also pointed out, things that we did know, things like homesteads currently have no limit of number of items that you can put into them. Certainly something we need to consider because people are putting a ton of objects in there, which is great for the decoration standpoint of it,
Mhm.
but it certainly does hurt performance a little bit. And we'll need to curb that down a little bit and figure out the right area where we want to put that at. Another area
Mhm.
that we've kind of come across is lighting. Is players like to light up the areas and make it so that they can see really well and change the appearance based off those lighting. And a lot of them are stacking lights on top of each other, which is
A lot of lights.
causing good things and bad things. It looks beautiful, but the more you stack objects on top of each other, the more performance issues you're going to see. So there are issues
Hundreds
that
of
we're
lights.
investigating and looking at.
Nice. I like it. Hi to Gail Drake. And yeah, a little bit of translation here, when Rod says heavy, he doesn't mean the items are pulling too much from gravity. He means they're too much work for your computer or your video graphics card. Something like that. That's what he means. The clouds can handle it, of course, but your your computer may be working harder than it needs to for this game. But yeah, excellent, excellent. Thank you for your testing help, Gunk. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for getting up this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you are, and joining us here on the stream. Rod and I just had our first cups of coffee or whatever non-coffee beverage Rod does in the morning. I don't think you drink coffee, do you?
So I
Yeah,
have
no.
a crisp glass of water.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing today too at the moment. But yeah, and thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Lurk's been up for a couple hours, haven't you?
I have. I got up at 6 and it's 11. So I'm on coffee 3, espresso 3, I think.
Okay. Do you have a fancy machine that you make it with?
Yeah, I do. I had a Keurig that broke a couple of weeks ago, so I got an espresso on Nina's
Yeah.
recommendation. And I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love those too.
They're
Well played.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Although I can find myself going back every half hour and having another and another, and then I realize later you've had 6 espressos and maybe you should not.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
But,
Especially I like it with on the lowest setting of the water, so it's easy to throw back a lot of them.
so
Great coffee though.
we are about halfway through the Twilight update, in my mind. We're halfway through the playing and testing of the Twilight update. And a new build will be installed sometime late next week. Is that about right, Rod?
Yeah, that's
When
currently
it
the
happens?
plan.
Yeah. And
Exciting.
this weekend is Labor Day weekend in the US. So it's a 3-day weekend. Monday's a bank holiday. But the following Saturday, a week from this Saturday, we're planning to do another fireside chat. And we're going to introduce the next update at that point. I don't know what it's going to be called yet and stuff. We'll get to that part later, but I'm looking forward to it. About 3 weeks later, we should do another fireside chat, but we have a conflict that day. Raf has been invited to go speak at a conference in San Diego. Put an S in stream chat if you're going to be in San Diego towards the end of September. And they're going to be, Rod, and you're going to
Maybe.
be, there's going to be a demo area section, and I'm going to take my computer down there and demo Star's Reach from that demo area at the event.
How
So he and I
exciting.
are going to be busy. I don't know yet uh, if Thomas is gonna maybe run a live stream at home with Dave Georgeson, and maybe Rod might want to jump in and help, or if Rod's going to say, "Hell no, I'm going to this event with you guys," and come down and hang out in person. So we'll figure it out. But so don't be surprised if a week from Saturday we do a fireside, but then the one after that we put on a Friday instead of a Saturday or something like that. Because we might have to jiggle things around the speaking event. Anyway, it's all good. Fun stuff. S. Oh,
We have
PC
an
Lab
S.
Tech. We have an S. Excellent. I will quickly try to grab a little information about it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like it when your friends poke you in the middle of a live stream. Hi. No, not right now, people. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I have to find some information about it when I can. Um, I'll post something, Lab Tech. But yeah, we've got an event. I've heard two different locations for it, so I want to check first.
Hmm.
Okay. It's put on by the IGDA San Diego chapter, so International Game Developers Association. Raf's speaking on game design for an audience of game developers. So, and I'm just showing off our game for out of pride and love. Okay. What else is going on here? So yeah, the game's had a couple bugs we've found as we have played longer and longer. Some things don't show up in the first 2 hours of a game, of a gameplay session. You have to go past that. What did we find the other day? It timed out on a security key after 24 hours or X number of hours, and it didn't know how to grab a new one. We're learning these things that the only way to test it is to go longer tests, and um, we'll probably learn some more when we go 24/7 that our duration just wasn't long enough. Although some of these tests are multi-days long and are, you know, but some things are going to have to go a week maybe before they break, or a month or whatever. We'll
Mhm.
see. What are some cool bugs we've run into, Rod? Anything come to mind?
Well, some of the obvious ones that we've seen recently is we introduced a kind of a testing system with a couple of our crafting for the harvester and the
Mhm.
terraformer. And when we introduced that, we had a small little mistake made in there, and you couldn't actually craft it. So, oops.
Oh,
We fixed
yeah.
that since then. It's something we, are doing, trying to do better on internal testing to make sure we catch things like that beforehand.
Mhm.
But our game is getting larger and larger every day, so it's hard for us to actually go through and test everything as we go through and implement new systems. So that's why we're, utilizing
Mhm.
our pre-alpha state and our testers that are out there to test those things out for us as quickly as we can. We try to hotfix them and solve them. Um, so they will happen, and we'll find them.
There are a
Trying to think of
couple
some
of
other ones.
questions in chat if you want to field some of those. Chef Jarek is asking, is the next update going to be the combat build? No, right?
Not at this point. It's not. We wouldn't call it a combat build. We're continually making changes to
Mhm.
combat, but that's kind of the minor side right now. We're focusing on kind of that new player experience and getting people interested in and involved with the game when they first get into the game to see what they're excited by. Because we're going to
Mhm.
see once we go to more 24/7, we're going to see a lot more new players coming in, and we want to make sure that
Yeah.
experience is interesting and informative to them, so that they can learn the game as quickly as possible. So we're
Mhm.
definitely pushing on a lot of that. We're also learning a lot from going 24/7 right now on how the gameplay is actually playing out, and we're making adjustments to that. and changing a lot of that functionality at this point. That's our main focus right now, is that general day-to-day gameplay and just kind of cleaning up a lot of that. We do
I
have
mean, just
systems that are
stability.
on. Oh, yeah, stability is definitely huge right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Pardon me.
we want it to not, face plant in the middle of the night, while we're trying to recover from a day.
That would be ideal.
Jeff Jarek, you asked about the reticle over the shoulder. Yes, we've identified a couple different areas where that happens, and we do have a fix coming in for that. I think
Nice.
it's in this next build, actually.
Nice. Yeah, I woke up this morning to 4 uh, incident messages from EVE Online because they had server issues today. And I thought, we've got to get, a system like this too in case we have server issues. And yeah,
Oh yeah,
I saved them all so we
it's
can
a
go
big
look at
step.
them. Yeah,
Oh, that's smart.
yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Um, yeah, if you guys have any more questions you want to throw in chat, this is a good time to do that. Rod
Questions about
usually
bug
keeps an
reporting.
eye on some of the questions in chat, I noticed, but this time he's on camera.
So speaking of
Did any?
bugs, just to kind of
Yeah.
chat a little bit here, one of the questions that came up a couple, I don't know, a week ago or something like that, just wondering about
Mhm.
how we handle bugs and how they work. So I threw together this 3-hour presentation that has some interpretive dance and a little bit of puppetry involved, but I don't have the time for
Oh,
that, so I'm going to
amazing.
kind of break that down a little bit. Um, so kind of just, I'm going to talk for a little bit, I guess. What are bugs,
Okay.
and like how do we handle these things?
Mhm.
These kind of get grouped into 3 different categories. There's bugs, suggestions, and feedback are kind of the primary things that we actually look at and we get from players. Bugs, pretty simply, are a system that's currently in the game that has functionality problems and issues that are wrong with it. Um, and those are really important for us to basically be able to track down the problem and just solve them as quickly as possible. Bugs that have steps to reproduce and that we can reproduce it on our internal servers are incredible and very useful for us. The best way for players to present those to us is the F11 feature within game. In the upper right, you're going to see F11. You can hit that. It'll open up a little dialogue, and it'll teach you a little bit about bugs, what it does for us. And the reason we kind of push you toward that a little bit is it provides a bunch of information on the backside that you don't have to provide for us. It will include things like who the character is, your account. It'll tell us locations where you are in game. It'll take a screenshot of your current screen at that time. Give us a little information on your computer specs and a little bit on your character at the time. And that's good for background information for us. But the key thing that we need to know with those bugs are things that are reproducible. So if you're looking at things like a text bug, for example, and you can see exactly where it is and you can describe it's this in this window, you've misspelled this particular word, and how to get to that, that is great. Those are really useful for us. And the cool thing with the F11 is this goes into basically a database system that we can then parse through, and we can look for keywords and search through this. So it helps us find those and identify those a lot easier. So that's one of the ways that you can report bugs for us. A second way is through our Discord. Discord has a section in it that allows you to report a bug, and it produces a ticketing system for us. That ticketing system allows us to individually look at each of these issues and report back to them. The place that I really push people toward on that one is if you have an issue that is an immediate concern. If text bugs, graphic bugs that like this visually doesn't look right, I'm really not as concerned with those in that particular system. That system is really in a place where I need to be able to report back to you or ask you questions about that particular system. Um, the example I would give you right now is we do have a bug on live right now that you can potentially get your character in a corrupt state. It happens due to creatures that are attacking you, adding statuses to you, causing you to be
Mhm.
frozen or to be
It's not
shocked.
alcohol or drugs.
No, not yet. We'll work on those.
Okay.
But when those statuses get stuck on you, there's a certain situation where if you zone during it or you die in a certain way during that, that status gets stuck on your character. And when you log that character back in, you're just stuck and you cannot move and you cannot interact with your character. In that particular situation, there's ways we can solve that problem, but I can only do that if I can interact with you directly. And that's where the ticketing on Discord is really useful for us because I can respond back to you and I can interact with you a lot better. Where the F11's feature is non-interactive. That goes into the database. It allows us to go search for it, but it's very rare that we're actually going to contact you about a particular issue there. So kind of your generic bugs, F11 is your friend. If you have an immediate problem that it's going to completely stop your gameplay, or if you find an exploit in game, those are great places to go into Discord and talk about it there and let us know. The third option that we have is we have two different sections of the Discord that are threads to basically talk about things. The bugs, what is it called? Bug reporting, bug discussion. That's what it's called, bug discussion. And then we have a feedback and suggestion section. Those are two very different threads of information. The bugs, again, are for situations where things are happening currently with the current system, and you need to discuss it. You might not have the repro steps for it yet, and that's what we need. In order to fix something, we need to know how to reproduce something. A lot of times I'll see, like F11, for example, I will see bugs of a character, like they'll sit there and they'll take their screenshot will happen, and basically the text of that bug basically says, my weapon doesn't work. That doesn't tell me much at all, because I really can't find out much from that. I can kind of look at your character and I can see what you had equipped and I can kind of diagnose it as best I can, but that's a lot of time and effort on our side to do that. So that's where discussions come in handy, where you can go in there and you can talk about something that may be happening to you at the present moment, and the other players might be able to actually give you advice on how to solve the problem, or also dig into it and try to figure out what the actual problem is. Because the key thing we want to get at that is steps to reproduce. I'm going to throw that out there always. If I can get step one, do this, and this will happen in the end, that is wonderful and perfect for us, because that allows us to find those, fix them as quickly as possible. Because when we can't find it, it's really hard to reproduce and really hard to fix. So that's what bug discussion is for. It's basically to discuss those bugs and try to find out what the actual problem is. And once you've identified that problem, listing out those steps to reproduce. Then we go into feedback and suggestions. A lot of times those words are oftentimes considered the same thing, but they are very different from each other. And the easiest way to describe what those actually mean is feedback is something you'd usually provide on the current situation that's happening. So a system that we've just put out there and we've asked you to take a look at it, providing that feedback, whether it's positive or negative, is great for us. Suggestions, on the other hand, are things to happen in the future. So it's more of, hey, this would be a great idea of something that you might be thinking about or you may want to do in the future, and I think this would be the way to go. And we think of those in two different ways, because the current feedback we get, we really need to focus on fixing the current system and making sure it has good gameplay, it's fun, it's interesting, and is entertaining for the players. And that's what we're looking for on the feedback. Suggestions, it's great to sit there and hear things of like future things of like, I'd like to have a galactic spaceship that's going to have multiple people in it running around doing space fights and stuff. That is great. We love to look at those things and look at those for the future, but those are in the future. They're not our primary concern right now. And we'll document those and we'll put them in, kind of in our envelope on the side of like, when we start looking at those systems, what are we looking for? And we appreciate a lot of that information. But right now we're really focusing on the feedback section of, what is the current gameplay? Is it fun? Is it interesting? Is it hard? Is it too hard? And getting those opinions of the players. So I spouted out a ton of information right there and a lot of things, and I kind of rambled on. I'm trying not to cough.
That was a great guide. No, that was perfect.
Yeah.
The big thing that I'm looking for everybody to gather from this basically is steps to reproduce. I'm going to reproduce that or repeat that many, many times in conversations when people talk about bugs. Is the key thing I need is details and how to reproduce that bug. If you can provide those steps, we can fix it.
And if it does something, when you say something doesn't work, sometimes it also helps to say what I expected it to do and then what it actually did, so that we could see if maybe your expectation was different from ours, or if you were trying to use it in the wrong mode or something like that. We can, that's helpful. Yeah.
By no means do we expect you to write a professional bug. There's testers out there that have done professional bugs. But the standard that normally would happen with more of a professionally written bug is you're going to start with a summary that's basically a quick line of here's what my potential issue is, and then you'll have a description
Mm-hmm.
that kind of goes into details of exactly here's what is really happening right now, here's the steps to reproduce it, here's my expected result and the actual result. And that's kind of the standard format that you see most companies go by with their bug writing. Am I expecting you guys to write those things? No, absolutely not. I'm expecting small little sentences and paragraphs and stuff that'll explain it,
Mm-hmm.
but just kind of give you that insight of that's kind of what we look for and what we write in our internal bugs and what the expectation is there.
Sorry, the dog
Hello,
wanted to be held.
hello, dog.
This is Diesel.
That's not a bug.
And, he's a bug sometimes, yes. But right now he's just curious about who I'm talking to, and he does like to look at the screen and look at the people. And he secretly wishes one of you would pick up a dog, but then he'll start barking at the screen, which is not helpful. We have to
Sure.
sometimes change the channel on the television to get away from footage of dogs,
That's
unfortunately.
so funny. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Chartel asked the question about F11, that it gives you the character name, time, location, screenshot, nothing more, and that they should provide everything else. To kind of answer that a little bit, we can only pull very static information on a situation. So some of the information that I will see is I will see like what build number you're in. I'll see what kind of operating system you're playing on, whether it's Windows or something else. I can see that kind of information. It'll tell me basic information of like what your resolution of your screen was at the time, what video card you have. I'm getting system information with every bug that comes in, of basic information that is going to be very static. The important stuff that I don't get from that is what were you doing at that time and what your context of that bug was, because the system doesn't know any of that information. It will give me a location where you were in the world, which world you were on, but that doesn't tell me like whether you were flying at the time or if you were digging or if you were actively using a tool. I don't necessarily need that, or not that I need that. I don't get that information. I can dig into that a little bit through our logging system, because we do track a lot of the actions that are being done by players, so that we can kind of track down issues with it and pull statistics of what players are actually doing in our game. But that's a lot of correlation that I then have to kind of put together, and it takes up time to do that. So any information that you can provide of what the context is at that time of that particular bug, that is beneficial to us. It's also good to read a good little story, so you can be creative with it too. So
Yeah.
hopefully that answers that question.
A great answer.
We should give people a prize for the best bug of the week or something.
Oh, that'd be fun. A bug bounty.
Speaking of giveaways, we should do a giveaway.
Oh, a giveaway.
Thomas, can you get your giveaway machine cranked up for us and pick a word? And today on Lyrics, excellent suggestion, we're going to give away a sticker pack. What can you link that in stream chat?
I have revealed the prize. In
Nice.
fact,
You have one?
I do. Yeah. Like, find it.
Okay. I haven't seen one of these yet. I didn't.
There we
Oh,
go.
nice.
See, they are very, very nice. Shiny, kind of weatherproof. So they should hold up very well. Oh, yeah, there they are.
Oh, wow. You have
Very
them too.
cool.
This one
Okay.
isn't included though. That's a special one.
I have
Yeah,
not
yeah.
seen that one before.
You gave it to me, so I hope you did.
Oh, I did? Shoot. Okay.
That's the original stickers that we made when we were handing out at places of
Oh.
like, ask us about playable worlds.
Mhm.
Oh, right. I didn't
That's
save
funny.
one of those and I don't remember it. Okay. But I remember the occasion. All right. These look pretty good. It says Kiss Cut holographic stickers, and it's about 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches is what it says. Here's the caveat. You're going to have to, Thomas will have to private message you and get your mailing address and your name and stuff to be able to send this to you. So keep in mind, you'll have to share a little bit of personal information with him, and then we'll give it to Magic in the finance department, and she'll ship it out to you. So a free sticker pack, $10 value. So get us ready.
There's
Oh, is it
Sticky
Sticky?
in chat. Sticky.
He's ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Type Sticky in chat if you want a chance to win this.
We're working
3
on our
people,
giveaway
4,
there.
5,
Something
6.
else that I wanted to bring up real quick that I forgot to mention earlier when we
Yes,
talked about
sir.
bugs and feedback and where the best places to put that information. We do have another resource also out there and available is our email address, support@playableworlds.com.
Mm-hmm.
That one is great for situations where if you're having issues with your account itself and we need to deal with that, maybe you need to change the email address that you have attached to your account, or you're having trouble logging in, or attaching to it to your Steam, things like that. That is a great place to go to for those kind of support issues. And that also goes through a ticketing system that we can reply back to and interact with you directly.
It also can be helpful if you have a special weird case. Let's say your guild wants to all get together and buy something together as a group, and you want to talk to Nina, Ninja Nina, about putting a special something. I mean, it could be anything like that. Support at Playable Worlds will get you right in there, and it will get funneled to her. She's in the Zendesk system with us, and she'll be able to help you with something special or custom or weird or etc. So I mean, we can do various things. If you've got, if you decided, you know what, the stock market's messing me up, I want to invest in Playable Worlds. I'm just kidding. We can't do that. I'm not allowed to even say stuff like that, but I'm just kidding. Anything weird goes to support. That way Rod doesn't have to read it later in his bug queue and go, what is this? I don't understand. This person.
Now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, where are we? Sticky. STICKY. Yeah.
9
PD
people total
figured it out though.
so far.
All right. Yeah, good odds for winning. Just saying.
Very good.
Yeah. We you can find things to put a sticker on. At least Rod can. Actually, I'll show you something crazy that I've never shown. Rod, you've never seen this.
Oh, what's gonna happen?
Dun, dun.
I was testing out some early prototypes before we even had a logo. This is a long, skinny thing for like
Beer
a
cozy?
White Claw, like
Yeah.
a lot like a White Claw size thing, and it has Stars Reach on it.
That's cool.
Before we even had a logo to work with. I tried
the
out
color.
something just to see what the sample would be like. Yeah, the color felt high-tech-ish to me.
Yeah, totally.
And
I love the
just
iridescent thing.
yeah, so I liked it. And it
That's
works
cool.
great.
That's
I haven't ordered any more since we got an actual logo, though. Maybe I should do. Any opinions, Rod? You never drink White Claws anyway.
No, not very often, but I don't know. It's merchandise. All about the merchandise.
Yeah,
I want
that was fun.
plushies.
I'm a big fan of the
All right.
color.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Last call for the giveaway.
Come on,
Plushies are
guys.
on the plan. We're just not ready there for that yet. And it's going to take more of everything, more lead time, more work,
It's a
larger.
complicated manufacturing process for plushies.
Yeah. Stars reach the flamethrower. Oh, geez. Yeah. Flashes of Tesla. And then when I think of Tesla now, I think of there was an incident this week where a white Tesla went off the road on the Kamehameha Highway on Oahu and ended up in the ocean surf there, just across the
Oh,
street from the Crouching Lion restaurant, if you know the area. And people stopped and filmed it and shook their heads, you know.
that's wild. That's wild.
And then they got it. They got a big enough tow truck to go and hook it up and pull it back out of the surf. But you know, I'm pretty sure it didn't just drive away after that.
No, I hear they don't hold up to moisture very well, so
Yeah, no. Especially the
it's
waves
probably
pounding
cooked.
on them, and with the palm trees and everything. It's beautiful.
Very idyllic. Yeah.
Yeah. Crochet and tiny ball hogs. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I took a year abroad in college and went to live in Beijing in the early 1980s.
Oh, that must have been amazing.
And knitting was popular that winter, and everyone was learning how to knit stuff. And yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that was crazy. I built part of a sweater, and then one of my friends there, who was a teacher actually at a different school, and she looked at it and she said, "Do you want me to finish that for you?" And I said, "Sure." And she brought back this beautiful, like steel blue gray sweater that she made for me. It was fantastic. I still have it somewhere. Okay, long enough. Who won the winner? Corbin Reynolds. Corbin Reynolds, Mazel Tov. Yeah,
Congratulations, Corbin.
and
Enjoy your
so
stickers.
expect a message to come in to talk to you. Yay! All right, and I suppose we should warn Magic also that this is coming. But this is fun. Okay, next thing's up. Um, when's is when is our next playtest starting? Hang on a second.
Right now.
It's right
Right now,
now.
yeah.
Okay.
95 hours. So it's until Tuesday.
Till
And
Tuesday
this
morning.
is the longest one we've ever done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, thank you, Gunk. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic moment for us. We're going to learn something new on, etc. We're going to keep an eye on things on and off over the 3-day weekend, but we're not going to, you know, we're not going to do anything really big until we get back on Tuesday. Probably, if it pops over the weekend, we'll do the best
Mm.
we can. Thank you in advance for bug reports you do. Yeah, this is going to help a lot, and I'm going to log in and play for a while too.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
jumping in from time to time, as much as possible.
Me
I'm going to try to
too.
take somewhat of the weekend. So if you're going to break things, try to break it at the end of the weekend if you could. That'd be great.
That'd be ideal. Yeah, sitting there for 95 hours might get uncomfortable. Mm.
depends how good your chair is.
That's true.
So looking
Because
ahead to the future, what do we got coming up in the near future here? I'm not going to give any spoilers necessarily of like what's coming up in particular. I kind of mentioned earlier that we're focusing on, continuing our basic gameplay loop, making sure that we have things available for players to do, trying to improve on things like the mission system, the commerce system itself, so that you have the ability to go out there and get the Klatus. I'll say it that
Yep,
time. This
that was
um,
perfect.
that you'll get the Klatus and you have reasons to actually spend it. we're making a few modifications there to try to make that a little bit more interesting of a system.
Ooh.
We do have uh, some changes coming to our floral system again. We're continuing to upgrade our floral and our plants that we're putting into game, so we're changing the appearances on a lot of them, and that is going to help performance as we start getting those in. We've been doing those in batches, and we're slowly getting to the point that we're placing out all the current stuff. Um, there's a good chance that we're going to have to actually repopulate the floral on all the planets again when we actually finish this one. So keep that in mind a little bit, that we may destroy a few of your gardens that you've created, but it's part of our alpha process. Sorry to say.
All right, guys.
We're trying our best to basically maintain persistency on the servers as much as possible. So we're trying not to wipe and do things like that. But as we add in things throughout the alpha, we're going to continue to do that from time to time. We'll try to give you notification of when that happens. But sorry, but it'll be good because by replacing these out, a lot of our old assets were designed a certain way, and that isn't necessarily working well with our current system, which is where you see things like the example would be the buildings that you saw with the gunk ship. When you look at it, you see a lot of frame rate drop, and you're seeing that with a lot of the floral right now also. And an
Yeah,
average
you
planet
are.
has between 10 to 15,000 different plants on it at any time, and seeing those on your screen all the time definitely affects your performance. So we're making those a little bit more performant so that we can fix that. We're also fixing some of the LOD issues with them so that they'll be less taxing on your system. But that is an ongoing thing that'll be happening over the next few updates. Um, we're getting through most of the floral now. Our next big one we're going to hit is the building objects themselves, so that when you're looking at that big ship over in the distance, you don't have such an impact on your system. That's not going to make this update, but hopefully the next one it will.
That's
Um,
exciting.
what else are we working on?
I know
Don't want to
people
mention that
appreciate
one.
the performance.
I'm like going through my mind of what they are, and like, no, don't want to tell you about that
Ooh,
one yet.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we are also
so
scintillating.
working on things that take longer to get finished. And we don't want to tell
Hmm.
you about them till we get ready to put them in front of you and say, okay, here's how this is going to work. And yeah,
I think everyone appreciates a good surprise.
yeah. There
the
was something.
sorry. Another thing that we've been working on, just kind of as you guys have noticed, we've been slowly changing out our user interface. And you've been noticing
Yep.
changes as we've been going through those. We've gotten through a few more of the screens.
Mhm.
So you'll see a little bit more of an update on that system. Um, Regrettably, we still haven't gotten to the point where we can make it so you can hide your UI again. We lost that functionality with the last one. You're only hiding small parts of it, like the chat, and I think a couple of the UI elements are at this point. But we'll get that
Mhm.
back to you. It is certainly something we want to return so we can have those nice, beautiful screenshots made. Um, what else have we got coming up?
There
A lot
was
of bug
something
fixing.
I was going to explain, but I can't find the notes to myself now. Yeah.
Yeah, majority of like this update has been uh, a lot of bug fixing, and performance has been an issue as of late, and we've focused a lot on performance and solving a lot
Yeah.
of those, as you've seen over the last. Usually we do a 3-week cycle of publishes, and in between, if we have to, we do a hot fix. We've already done four, three different hot fixes over
Mhm.
this period, and we're still not over the 3-week period. And that's mainly to fix performance issues. The good side of that is we're making your time in game more enjoyable and entertaining for you as we fix those performance issues. The downside, of course, with that is as we focus on solving those problems, that does affect our um, working on new systems and new content that's coming down the line. So some of
Mhm.
those did get pushed aside a little bit while we were focused on the performance. Um, we'll do our best to catch up on those and get those in, but there are a few systems that we planned on trying to do with this update that just aren't going to make it at this point. Um, which is regrettable, but that's part of the development process. That's the way it works.
Mhm.
So we continue to move forward with that. Sorry, just glancing at chat to see if I missed anything here. Graphics settings is something that's it's on the timeline that we're still aiming at doing, but it's something we haven't exposed further at this point, mainly because we're making a lot of changes to the underpinnings of how the systems actually work. And once we actually identify those and have those put in correctly, we can then provide user settings for you to actually adjust those, which will make performance better and allow you to adjust it so that different systems can handle different performance levels. I don't see any other questions that are popping out at me here.
Okay.
Now's a great time for questions, folks.
If
We
not,
still have
we
a few
can
minutes.
close this up a little bit early and go to our next meeting. Okay. Well, again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rod. I know you haven't been feeling well. And thank you, Thomas, who's in even worse shape. And thank you, Lyric. You're doing great.
My
If you
pleasure.
guys haven't heard it yet, there's a really good interview out this week. Controlled Chaos interviewed Lyric Dax,
I'll
and
link it.
it's a long interview. It's very good, and he says a lot of kind things. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, it was my pleasure. We had a lot of fun. Control Cast is a great interlocutor. It was a good interview.
Just as a quick summary of
Controlled
one of the things we
Chaos
talked about
here.
with the bugs. So just
Sorry.
quick summary for you guys really quick on kind of what we talked about with the bugs and stuff. If you got reproducible bugs, F1 is your friend. Go in there, give us steps to reproduce, and throw it out there. If you've got issues that are immediate concerns of things like you have a broken character or something like you found an exploit in game, bring those up to us in Discord. Utilize that Discord reporting feature for bug reports, and we can get back to you on that way. If you have suggestions and feedback, the discussion forums on Discord is a great place to put those there. If you want to discuss a potential bug that's happening in a game but you don't know how to reproduce it and you're looking for help, that's a great place to discuss those. If you have account issues that you need to solve, email support@playableworlds.com, and we'll get to those as quickly as we can. And last but not least, we're oftentimes just in voice in Discord. Feel free
It's
to
a
stop
great
in
place.
if you've got a question about the game, you want to learn how to play it. A lot of times developers are in there, and there's a lot of veteran testers that are in there that know a lot about our game. They're a great help to us, and we appreciate them a lot.
Amen.
They will answer all kinds of questions for you. So if you have questions and you don't mind jumping onto chat, you can. If you want to just do it through text, go to the general channel in Discord. Post your questions there. People will be happy to answer questions. Or if you want to jump in voice, we're always there, willing to help out.
And we can help you troubleshoot and to figure out what's going on.
Thank you for all the support, you guys. And thank you for helping us make it a better game for all of you. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks,
See you
everybody.
on
See ya.
Thursday.